So welcome student. This is the first class for class 11 and you have completed just class 10 exam, board exam and this is the first class of our chemistry and in chemistry class 11 there are two books, part 1 and part 2 book, and basically in chemistry there are three parts. One is called physical chemistry, another one is called inorganic chemistry and another one is called organic chemistry. Okay, so when we read we'll thoroughly read physical, inorganic and then organic chemistry. Similarly also in 12th class there are also two books, part 1 and part 2 book. Okay, so in our book 1 class 11 only physical chemistry part is there and only two chapters are inorganic chemistry. Okay, so our actually first chapter is physical chemistry and the name of the chapter is basic concept of chemistry. Okay, so in this class what will we read? First the basic part, means the beginning part. First part is what is the meaning of physical quantity. What is the meaning of physical quantity? Physical quantities are the quantities which we come across during our scientific studies are called physical quantities. Okay, means when we are reading, different types of scientific terms are coming and these terms are known as physical quantities. So there are 7 physical quantities. Okay, so I have written here the symbol and their SI unit. You know what is SI unit? SI unit, this is called a System International D unit, or this is called a SI unit. Earlier in means lower class we have read CGS unit, MKS unit. Okay, but here we will read a SI unit. So the first term, this is called mass. So the 7 physical quantities. Okay, mass, length, time. Okay, this is current, this is temperature, amount of substance, and this is luminous intensity. So in chemistry, except this part, we are dealing all 6 types of symbols and their units. So mass symbol, okay, its a unit is kg, its SI unit, length SI unit is meter, time SI unit is second, okay, current SI unit is ampere, temperature SI unit is Kelvin, amount of substance SI unit is mole, and luminous intensity, its SI unit is called a candela. Okay, so these are 7 physical quantities and these 7 physical quantities are called what? The first physical quantities. Okay, clear now? And out of this temperature we are writing, this is called Kelvin, but you have read temperature has various units like degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit, another one is degree Reaumur also there. Okay, but most of the scientists they are using Kelvin, Celsius and Fahrenheit. And for this one formula is there. You know that is C by 5 means temperature in degree Celsius, C by 5 equals to F minus 32 by 9 equals to R by 4. What is this? Suppose you have read our body temperature in degree Celsius, suppose this is suppose what? 36 degrees suppose Celsius. That means if the temperature in Celsius scale is 36 degree, then what will be temperature in Fahrenheit scale? So we will use this formula. Okay, 36 by 5 equals to F minus 32 by 9. If we will solve this, then we will get the value. Okay. Similarly, suppose if the Fahrenheit temperature is 96 degree, then what will the reading in Reaumur scale? So you will use this interlinked formula. Okay. And you know, in India, our means we are using weather climate. Suppose our temperature is in a degree Celsius we are expressing, but in chemistry our SI unit always will use Kelvin. Suppose in America, their atmospheric temperature they are always using in Fahrenheit scale. So that's why this formula is important for conversion. Clear? Then we know 0 degree Celsius equals to 273 Kelvin. Yes or no? Suppose 5 degree Celsius. So what will the value? 273 into 5 or plus 5? Plus 5. So 273 plus 5 equals to 278 Kelvin. So you remember this part. So this is for what? Temperature. Okay. Some book also written this temperature is called thermodynamic temperature. So that's why in chemistry always our temperature will be in which scale? Kelvin scale. Suppose in the question Celsius or Fahrenheit will be given, then always will convert into Kelvin scale. Then we will solve the numericals. Okay. So this is the first physical quantity, their symbol and their SI unit. Then next term is, these are actually not chemistry, these are the basic part. Then after this will come to chemistry. So next term is, what do you mean by precision and what do you mean by accuracy? Precision and accuracy. These are actually, these two terms are related to practical. Suppose first in precision, listen. Suppose if you go to chemistry lab, 10 students are suppose there. I will give 10 sample to 10 student. Okay. Then I told take the measurement. Suppose take the weight. Clear? Then what they will do? They will take the weight of the given sample. So like this, student A, student B, student C, student D, like this. Okay, so suppose student A, student B, C, D, their measurement is suppose like student A measure 2.5 gram, student B measure 2.6, C measure 2.55 gram, D measure 2.62 gram, E measure 2.5 gram. Then question is, what is its precision? Okay, so what is its precision? So you see, so when I given the sample to the 10 student and I not told what is its weight, that means the 10 student they do not know what is the weight of the given sample. So after taking the measurement, okay, so we'll take what? 2.5, 2.6, 2.55, 2.62, 2.58. So like this. Then what we'll do? We'll take the average. Okay. Then to this average value, which student are very close? Then we can say this student is more precise or more precision. Clear now? Okay. This is called a precision. That means before taking any data, the students actually they do not know what is the given data. After taking the measurement, yes or no, which student is very close to the average value. Clear? Suppose after taking all these, suppose the average value will come, suppose the average value will come 2.5 average value this is. So which student is more precise? So we can say student A, student C and student E, they are more precise. Clear? Similarly, what is accuracy? Accuracy means when I will give the sample, so from the very beginning, I given that the given sample is 2.5 gram. That means before taking the measurement, all students they know the given sample is 2.5 gram. Then what? They have started and taking the measurement. Then we will check who is close to the given value. Who is very close to the given value. So out of this, so student A, student C, student E is very close to the given value. So this is the difference, precision and accuracy. So precision, beginning, whatever the data are given, student don't know. After taking the measurement, which value is very close to the average value. But accuracy means from the beginning they know the value. Okay, after taking the measurement, who is very close to the given value. So this is called precision and accuracy. Clear now? Then next term is, what is the meaning of scientific notation? What is the meaning of scientific notation? Scientific notation, suppose if I will ask what is the distance between sun and earth? So this is very large distance. Sir, 150000000 many zero will come, then sir kilometer. Okay, so that's why it is a very big number. Similarly, if I will ask what is the mass of an electron? Sir, electron is very small, I have never seen, and its mass is 0.00, like 30 zero will come after this 91 something kg. So it is a very very small data. So that's why very big, very small, all these data, how can you write in one format? So that scientific notation, the scientific notation format is like this: a into 10 to the power n. A into 10 to the power n, where a value less than 10, greater than equals to 1. Suppose the distance between sun and earth, suppose 1.5 into 10 to the power, suppose 16 kilometer. So you see, we cannot write 15, 1.5. Similarly, mass of an electron equals to 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. So here we cannot write 91, 9.1. So this is called a scientific notation. So when we will represent any number, okay, so we'll try always to represent in this format, which is known as scientific notation. Okay, clear? So next part is, what is a significant figure? Okay, so significant figure, in shortcut we can write it is SF, significant figure. So what is the meaning of a significant figure? Okay, so significant figure, it represents what? The total number of digits in a number, including the last digit whose value is uncertain, is called number of a significant figure. Okay, again, the total number of digits in a number, including the last digit whose value is uncertain, is called a significant figure. So what is the meaning of a significant figure? Different rules are there. Wait, what are the different rules? So the first rule is all non-zero digits are significant. All non-zero digits are significant. All non-zero digits are significant. Example, suppose 125. So how many digits are there? 3 digits. 1, 2, 5. Yes or no? So here the significant figure is 3. Okay, so significant figure means how many digits are actually required to define a number. So here 125 significant figure is 3. Similarly, suppose 2896. So its significant figure is 4. So first rule is all non-zero digits are significant. Okay, similarly suppose 1.26, so its significant figure is 3. Clear? So this is the first rule. Then second rule is 0 between the two non-zero digits are significant. 0 between the two non-zero digits are significant. Okay, 0 between two non-zero digits are significant. Okay. Example, suppose if you take 105. So you see 1 is a non-zero digit, 5 is a non-zero digit. So 0 between two non-zero digits are significant. So its significant figure is 3. Similarly, suppose 2085. So its significant figure is 4. So 0 between two non-zero digits are significant. Okay. Similarly, 1.06 significant figure is 3. Clear? So this is the first two rule. All non-zero digits are significant. Second rule, 0 between two non-zero digits are significant. Okay, this is the second rule. Then third rule is rule 3. Third rule is 0 to the left of the first non-zero digits in a number are not significant. 0 to the left of the first non-zero digits are not significant. That means you see, suppose 0.001. So this is the first non-zero digit. So before this digit, you see, before this one, zeros are there, these zeros are not significant. That means its significant figure is 1. Clear? Similarly, suppose like this, 0.05801. So this is the first non-zero digit. So before this 0, these are what? Not significant. So its significant figure is 4. This is the rule 3. Got the idea? Okay. Then next is rule 4. 0 after the decimal point. 0 after the decimal point, after non-zero digits are significant. I mean 0 after this. 0 after the decimal point, after non-zero digits are significant. Means suppose 0.50. 0.50. Okay, so this 0 is significant. So its significant figure is 2. Okay, similarly, suppose 0.8900. That means its significant figure is 4. Clear? So 0 after the decimal point, after non-zero digits are significant. So these are the first 4 rule. Listen, one questions. Simple. These are actually mathematical part. They are not chemistry. So here you see, if I'll ask one question, 0.5 and 0.50, which is greater or both are same? So according to this format, 0.50 is greater than 0.5. Why, sir? Suppose in calculator, if you take one calculator, okay. So if you type 10 by 2 equals to 5, exact value will come. Yes or no? Similarly, if you take 22 divided by 7. So if it is, suppose your calculator is 8-digit calculator, 8 digit will come. If your calculator will be 16-digit calculator, again 16-digit will come. Okay, so that's why 0.50 means maybe after some 0 or 80, 90, 10, then some digit will come. But when 0.5 means this is exact 0.5. Got the idea? So 0.5, it is less than 0.50. Okay, so that's why 0 after the decimal point, after non-zero digits are significant. But 0 before the non-zero digit are not significant. Clear? This is the first 4 rule. Then next, 5th rule is, sir, if a number ends in zeros, suppose if I will write like this, sir, this, no decimal point is there. So what is this, sir, significant figure? So remember, if a number ends in zeros, clear? These zeros may or may not be significant. This zero may or may not be significant. But you see, suppose this point 0 if you will write, then definitely this 0 is also significant. Means like fourth rule. But if a number ends in 0, no decimal is there, so this 0 may or may not be significant. That means its significant figure may be 1, 2, 3, 4, infinitely, depends on its representation. Suppose this thing we can write, someone will write, sir, 5 into 10 to the power 4. Okay, scientific notation format. So you see, how many digits? 1, so its significant figure is 1. If someone will write 5.0 into 10 to the power 4, so definitely its significant figure is 2. Okay, similarly, another one will write 5.00 into 10 to the power 4, so its significant figure is 3. Clear? So that's why if a number ends in zeros, okay, but decimal point not present, then these zeros may or may not be significant. It depends on the representation. Okay, it may be 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, 4, 5, infinity. Clear? So these are the 5 rules for calculation of a significant figure for individual number. Single number when it will be given, then how can we calculate the significant figure? But sir, if a question will come, sir, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, then how can we calculate the significant figure or what is the answer? This is the most important part. So that's why here I have written rules for determining the significant figure in the answers involving calculations. So first one is, rule 1 is addition and subtraction. So for addition and subtraction, how can we calculate the significant figure? Okay, listen. First we will see the example, then we will go to the rule. Suppose here I have taken 13.12 plus 2.3 plus 8.653. In a normal method, if you will add, the actual sum will come 24.073. But according to significant figure method, what will be the reported sum or what is the significant figure of the answer? So addition and subtraction always you will remember. You see, in this number, after this decimal point, how many digits? 2. After this decimal point, how many? 1. After this decimal, how many? 3. So which number has lowest? This, how much? Means after decimal point only 1 digit. So whatever our actual sum will come, okay, so in this actual sum we have to round up to after decimal point 1 digit. Got the idea? Again, after decimal point 2, after decimal point 1, after decimal point 3. So whatever answer will come, that answer you have to round up to after decimal point 1 digit. Okay, so this is the actually rule. So here actual sum is 24.073. So here you see after decimal point how many digits? 3 digits. So we have to round up. So you see 0.07 means after point only 1 digit we have to round up. So here 077 is there, means it is increased by 1. So it will be 24.1. So that's why its reported sum is 24.1. Significant figure is 3. Got the idea? Again, so when addition and subtraction will be there, the result of an addition or subtraction should be reported to the same number of decimal places as that of the term with least number of decimal places. Least number of decimal places. Okay, so this is the meaning of addition and subtraction. Second is multiplication and division. So you see, I have taken one example, 4.372 into 1.8. So equals to 12.1156. Clear? So this is the actual multiplication value. But what will be the value, reported value according to significant figure? So here for multiplication and division, okay, what is the rule? So always you will remember, see, this number has significant figure 4. This number has significant figure 2. So rule is, what is the lowest significant figure, up to that significant figure we have to round up. Got the idea? Again, so this number has 4 significant figure. This number has 2 significant figure. That's why our reported multiplication value will be up to 2 significant figure we have to round up. So it is 12.1156. So here 1 is there. That's why it will be rounded up to 12. Clear? Okay. So you can ask one question, sir. If it is, again, suppose if it is multiplied by 5, 4.372 into 1.8 into 5. So always you will remember, in multiplication and division, exact number will ignore this part. Exact number always will ignore this part. So if 5 will be there, because 5 significant figure is 1. So that's why you can say, sir, we have to round up this value into 1 significant figure. So how 12 become round up to 1 digit? So it is not possible. Clear? So that's why in multiplication and division, okay, so if exact number is there, exact number will ignore this part. Clear now? Okay. So this is the rule for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Similarly, suppose if a calculation involves number of steps, means addition is there. Okay. Suppose I will write one example, 42.967 into 0.02435 divided by 0.34 into 4. So here you see, its significant figure is 5, its significant figure is 4, its significant figure is 2, and this thing will neglect because this is a exact number. So what will be its actual result? So its actual result is 0.0769298 actual result. But what will be our reported result according to significant figure? So out of this, which is the lowest significant figure? 2. 5, 4, 2. So this number we have to round up to 2 digits. Okay. So it will be 6, 9. So 9 is here. That means it will be increased by 1. So reported multiplication value is 0.77. Clear now? So these are the meaning of a significant figure. Got the idea? Again I am telling, first for individual number, all non-zero digits are significant. 0 between two non-zero digits are significant. 0 before non-zero digits are not significant. 0 after the decimal point, after the non-zero digits are significant. Okay? Then if a number ends in zeros, this 0, yes or no, its significant figure is infinite. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, it depends on the representation. And when calculation will come, addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, in addition and subtraction, always reported sum will be what is the lowest decimal places, up to that place we have to round up. And multiplication and division, which number has lowest significant figure, up to that significant figure we have to round up. Clear? So this is the concept of a significant figure. So after this, a chemistry part will come. Different laws of chemical combinations. Okay, so we'll read in next video. Clear now?